Hi, Saban. Hello, Brian. Let's see. So there was a comment again. So earlier time again. Also, I have kind of more of a fixed time window, like I did last time. Um, who am I? I'm Andrew Leonards. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach. Some might know me from the Do Nothing Project as a guest host and the person who's in the chat moderating, or Andy in the blue, or Andrew in the blue font. And we've been doing Wednesday sits now for 3 months, maybe something like that. And then Saban and I are used to the fact that our time never changes, but everyone changes around us because we live in Arizona. But that may be a new thing for some people. If you are on, you got a reminder this week. I actually remembered to send out the reminder to the mailing list that I've been sort of bespoke single origin crafting, like a single origin coffee mailing list. You'll find, if you want to, you can send me an email at the email that I just put in chat, and I'll add you to that list. If you want off of that for any reason, you just reply to that. Let me know, hey, thanks, but no thanks, and I'll get you off. A week ago, we were doing an experiment with an accountability device, a Google Doc that I just put out there with days and said, I'm going to, if that's helpful for people, and then you can comment, and just like a really lightweight way of like reflecting back out your practice. And then I stopped that because the 10% happier on the go challenges this week, and I sort of expected to get a little boost in accountability from that. And so there was a comment of like, hey, aren't we going to do the accountability doc again? So I don't see the person who asked on, but that link there in chat is the accountability doc. And then I'll send that back out, or I'll include that in the next email. So you'll get a chance to check that out. Oh, okay. You're losing connection. I might be losing connection too. My connection has been more stable lately, but not always that stable. So yeah. And if you're connected with me on the Go challenge on 10% happier, it's been really cool. It's been cool to get a chance to see folks when they're meditating, and how frequently they meditate, which is really great. It's really cool to see and inspiring. And I also, this challenge was a course, or is a course, that you can take also on 10% happier with Alexis Santos. And I had done this course a long time ago, and I realized how much I appreciate the sort of effortless awareness angle that is in here. So we're going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to use the untimed app so that I get credit for this. We'll ring the bell, and we'll go into a practice, and then I'll have just kind of a couple minutes at the end to sort of sign off, and if there's any questions or reports, we'll do that. All right. Just kind of settling in a little bit with a few deliberate breaths. Breathing in through the nose allows us to breathe low into the belly. And then once we're breathing out from the belly, extending and sort of bringing and riding that exhale out a bit. And that gives us the slow and low tempo that we're looking for. Just like the Beastie Boys talk about. Slow and low is the tempo that we're looking for. And just seeing what's here briefly, sort of a roll call for experience. If there's any itches, if there's any discomfort, if there's any tension. And you'll know where you hold tension more than I will, but just some spots that you might want to check in with. Maybe the jaw, the eyes, the shoulders. And just noting the shoulders to make sure they're not sort of creeping up and trying to make friends with the ears. Sort of down and back is sometimes helpful, with a little bit more of an open chest. And then just sort of beginning to settle into stillness. As we sit, we might feel more and more still. Not always the case, but often the mind will follow the body. So if the body is maybe feeling buzzy and kind of racy, the mind might also sort of feel that way as well. So allowing that slow settling to begin to set the tone for our sit together. And I forgot to mention we were sitting for 25 minutes at the top. We'll be guiding for another about 22 minutes. And I'll make sure to finish with a generous amount of an opportunity to do nothing. And as we get still, we don't have to be sort of rail stiff, or we don't have to strike a sort of statue pose. If we need to move, we move and then return to that stillness. As we begin, just seeing if there's a home base available. That might be the sense of where the body contacts the ground. That might be your feet on the floor, maybe the breath, maybe sounds around you. Just sort of seeing how into that home base, as Jeff says, you can get. I'm just offering you a decision point here. So it's your sit. So you can stay with your home base. That's option one. Or option two, you can come along with this nurture positive exercise that I want to offer you. And this exercise is kind of a variation of something Sharon Salzberg will do around benefactors. So, seeing if you can bring to mind someone who is responsible for you being here now, listening to my voice. So, maybe that's someone who introduced you to meditation. Maybe that's someone who introduced you to Jeff Warren. Maybe it's the book Fidgety Skeptics. And just seeing if you can bring to mind that person or persons if you want. And seeing if you can stoke a bit of warmth. You might feel that warmth in the heart center. You might feel that in another location. And for me, it's my friend Danny, who sort of kickstarted my meditation path. And just seeing if you can add a little bit of detail visually to that. And once you have a little bit of a visual, or maybe you've got sort of sound of their voice, offering some gratitude. So one level might be just offering a thank you to that visual. Or sort of another thing to visualize a gift that you're offering. And then focusing a bit on kind of the imagination of them receiving that gift. Maybe there's a smile. Maybe there's an aw shucks moment. Or maybe this is the first time they have realized the part that they played in your path. And now shifting the attention from our visualization or our sort of audio simulation with visuals and bring the attention back to the body. Seeing if there's a little bit of warmth as you've stoked gratitude. And that feeling might kind of peak and then fade. So just seeing if you can bring the visual back, offer a sense of gratitude, and then turn the attention back to the body. You could do that more rapidly now that we have a little bit of a of that. So we bring the visual, offer gratitude, shift the attention back to the body. And if the warm feeling isn't available, that's totally fine. No need to force it. Just seeing if you're aware of the body moment to moment. And maybe another person has come to mind. Someone who's contributed to where you are in the path. Someone who kept you on the path. And again, seeing how vivid you can bring that visual, or if, again, the visuals don't work, a little bit of the audio sense, maybe even conjuring a smell if there's someone very familiar. Offering a token of your appreciation, offering a kind word, offering a small gift. Noticing how that lands, seeing their appreciation, and then shifting your attention back to you. Seeing if you get a bit of the giver's glow, I think they call it in social science. And again, that sensation may peak and then fade. That's okay. Seeing if you can bring it back and stoke that one more time. Kind of like hitting a refresh on a web page. It may feel clumsy at first. And again, if you get a little bit of a feeling of negativity or what might call a backdraft, you can always shift to the home base. You can always open the eyes. And if the emotions are really strong in the opposite direction, you can always stop. That's always an option. And seeing if we can nurture a bit more positive feelings. Maybe there are a group of people that come to mind. And they've contributed to your meditation practice. They've supported you on the path. They've commiserated about how hard it can be. And they've asked you for your experience and your stories, your feelings. Seeing if we can make this group a little more vivid. Maybe taking a mental picture with our minds. And then offering your gratitude. Thank you. Or a token of your appreciation. And shifting the attention back to the body. Again, might not feel the warmth. Just seeing if it's stoked. And again, at your pace, you can always try rekindling the vividness of that image, offering the gifts, seeing the reactions, and then shifting your attention. And if you're like, I don't get this, just see if you can go through those steps with a half smile or a full smile. And seeing if just having a smile on your face while you go through those mental steps shifts the tone a bit. And again, we expect the warmth to peak, kind of crest, and then taper off. And then the last step is optional. But maybe there's somebody whose contribution to your meditation practice is one that might be antagonistic a bit. So maybe they thought, meditation's kind of silly or something along those lines. And it turned out that their opinion really motivated you to stay on the path. And you've been on the path long enough to see the value in this contrary action. And offering a thank you to them. And again, counterintuitive, totally optional. So thank you for telling me this wouldn't work. Or I appreciate you spurring me on. And then the last one, just here before we shift over to nothing and let go of all this visualization, just seeing if we can bring together sort of a group picture. Seeing if there was someone you didn't get to spend time with that now comes to mind, adding them to the group picture. And offering one more thank you. Now, if that felt effortful, then this is the perfect opportunity to let go of all that. Put it aside and just do nothing. And a reminder, when we say do nothing, we're just saying we're no longer trying to shape or control our attention. We're letting go of that intention to use a technique. And we're doing nothing. And then if we notice that, oh, I'm counting breaths, or oh, I'm doing the thing I usually do when I sit, just let go of that. And if you let go more than twice, then that's kind of what the mind wants to do right now. You can kind of offer a little hat tip, kind of you do you. Let the mind do whatever that is. And so go ahead and coast for the remainder of the sit, and I'll ring the bell to let you know when we're done. May any merit from our actions go to benefit all beings. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for trying out that sit. Thank you, Gabrielle, for showing up live. And then, Gabrielle, I know I think you might have missed this, but I created another accountability Google Doc, and it starts from today, and then it runs until the end of November. So there was a couple people that replied back to the reminder email this week that said, "Hey, I liked that. Could we do more of that?" So it should be a new one. Maybe I gave you the wrong one. The title of it should be accountability, if I did it right. So yes, Bill, it's every Wednesday. So my plan is to, even though in the United States, the lesser Thanksgiving, not Canadian Thanksgiving, but the U.S. Thanksgiving is next week. I'm planning on doing the sit at the same time. So it'll be 7:15 Eastern, 6:15 Central, 5:15 Mountain Time, and 4:15 Pacific. And then I think it's like 11:15 the next day for our Aussies that are sitting. So I think that's been a little bit of a trouble. That's why we haven't seen Lynn and Sarah here as well. So trying to figure out the time on that. So clicking on the like there, definitely really, especially with Ruth not here to say and remind us to click on the like button. Thank you again. And then if the Google Doc works out, if you have a Google account, you should be able to get in there as long as you have that link and do the edits. I think Paul pointed out that you do have to have a Google account, which is part of why I was like, I don't know if this is going to be super helpful for everyone. Oh yeah, so it is 4:15. You're correct. Yeah, so it's 4:15 California time, which like Pacific Standard, I think is. So yes, when Saban, whom might still be here. Yeah, there's Saban. Saban and I both live in Arizona, and so part of the year you could think of it that like we're on Mountain Standard Time all the time, and so we're sort of we're equal to Pacific Daylight, and then we're shifted ahead during Standard Time. So it's kind of a unique experience for Arizonans. So, but yeah, so thanks a lot, Bill, and Gabrielle, and Saban, and Brian, and anyone else who was here but didn't get a chance to say hi in the chat. And then a big hello to everyone watching the recordings, because I know a lot of folks, even though we didn't have as many people here for the live version, there's a lot of people that had viewed it after the fact. So totally appreciate that. All right. Have a great week. Jeff's the host on the Do Nothing Project on Sunday. And yeah, see ya.